Michael Jackson once said something that didn't make sense at the time. He said the most dangerous part of fame wasn't pressure or money or even criticism. It was losing control of your own story. And years later, that fear came true. At the beginning of his career, fame worked differently. Stories moved slowly. Rumors faded. People still waited to hear both sides. But as Michael became the most famous person on Earth, he noticed something changing, and almost no one else noticed it yet. The public didn't want truth anymore. They wanted certainty. They wanted a simple story they could believe, repeat, and move on from. Michael realized that once people decide who you are, facts stop mattering. And that terrified him. Because Michael understood something most celebrities didn't. Fame doesn't belong to the famous person. It belongs to the audience. And once the audience takes ownership of your image, you don't get it back. That's why Michael became quieter over the years. Not mysterious. Not strange. Careful. He stopped explaining himself as much. He stopped responding to every rumor. Not because he didn't care, but because he realized responding often made things worse. He once believed that telling the truth would fix everything. Then he learned that attention doesn't reward truth. It rewards emotion. The stronger the emotion, the faster the story spreads. Fear spreads faster than facts. Outrage spreads faster than explanations. Michael watched this happen to others first. Then he watched it happen to himself. And here's the part most people miss. Michael wasn't afraid of being hated. He was afraid of being misunderstood permanently. Because once a false version of you locks into the public's mind, it becomes almost impossible to remove. You can correct details, but not impressions. That's why Michael once said the media could turn lies into history. At the time, people thought he was exaggerating. But today, this is how the internet works. One headline, one clip, one accusation. And suddenly, the story is decided. Michael lived through this before social media even existed. He saw how narratives were built, repeated, simplified, and monetized. And he knew that once that machine started, it didn't need evidence anymore. It only needed momentum. That's why Michael became obsessed with privacy later in life. Not because he was hiding, but because he understood exposure had become dangerous. Fame had stopped being admiration. It had become consumption. And when a person becomes something to consume, their humanity disappears. Michael tried to warn people about this, not loudly, not dramatically, but in small comments. Interviews people ignored, statements that didn't sound important at the time. Now they do, because the world eventually became exactly what he feared. A place where stories move faster than truth. And once they move, they don't come back. Michael Jackson wasn't afraid of fame. He was afraid of what fame was turning into. And that's why, in the end, he was right. If you love these stories, then you must subscribe for many more.